Hello everyone, welcome back to MixBuzz TV, mixing and mastering tutorials on YouTube. Today, a video that is going to be a little bit different from what I usually put out. A couple of days ago, a friend of mine and student of mine asked me if I could quickly make him an instrumental version close enough to Nicki Minaj Only, feature Drake and Lil Wayne. So I went ahead and did it, and I thought I could use the project to show you a couple of things. Main purpose is to show you how such a successful song can be made with very few sounds. I like this kind of production. I like very minimal stuff when you have few sounds and a powerful vocal on top of it. Because when you have that much space, when you have so few sounds, you can make them as big as a house, and I like that. So let's take a listen to it first. So, it's not exactly the same, sounds are not exactly the same, but, close enough. And for the purpose of this video, to show you a couple of things about sound production more than mixing, this is not mixed, okay? These are raw sounds. It served the purpose. So, for all the sounds that you hear in this instrumental, I use only 3 virtual instruments, Xpend 2 and Boom, that come with Pro Tools. And the only third-party one was Massive, just for the bass line. So let's break it down. We have the drum. And this is the kick. Okay? And the kick, it just has this EQ down here, which are 2 cuts at 36 and a 10 just to control the low end, and URS saturation in British mode. Let's hear without it. EQ and saturation. Okay, and saturation just to make the kick drum more intelligible in smaller speakers. Okay. But again, it's not mixed. It's just the raw sound. I want it this way. Then the snare, we have, let me solo it. We have the snare and clap. And here a little bit of a cue on the snare. Let's hear the claps. Now I delayed the claps by 15 milliseconds just to detach it from the snare sound, and a little bit of EQ too, because I actually copied and pasted the beat myself, and I didn't want the two elements to be exactly on bar. I wanted a little bit of delay between the two. Together they sound like this. And with the kick. Then we have the hi-hats. Okay, just a little bit of EQ, filters, and top end. Then we have the crash. Band passed. And then the other crash. And together the drum sounds like this. Then I added a little bit of reverb on the snare and claps. Reverb, medium room 2. Just to not have it too dry, okay? It's pretty dry, but let me exaggerate it for you. Okay? So to make all the drum sounds that you heard, I used Boom, which is a virtual instrument that comes stock with Pro Tools. And I will link you the preset with all the sounds that I used in the info box down below. We have a kick, snare, clap, both hi-hats, the ride, and crash. And what did I do is I printed each sound individually, and then I construct the drum loop, which was very simple, here in the edit window. So I actually copied and pasted the individual sounds and made my my loop. Okay, so I didn't program it here. I find it easier when the bit is so simple to just copy and paste the sounds. Let's go ahead and see the next sound, which is the bass line that I made with Massive, and I did a little bit of processing. Now the preset, the raw bass sound that I made with Massive, is going to be available for download in the info box down below. And all the processing that I did, I will show you right now. This is the raw sound. Okay, what did I do is I used a little bit of L2 that is not actually doing anything, just lowering the level really. But like I said, this is not a mix, it's just to get an idea of the sound. Then I use the soft tube saturation. This one makes a big difference. I use the setting keep low. Then I use 3G just to lower the volume. And then max bass. And as you can see, I removed all the original bass information from it. And I use the harmonics at 40 Hertz. You can see the decay. High pass is at 12 dB per octave. And I just use pretty much the higher harmonics, removing all the original low end. This one makes it more intelligible in the smaller speakers, okay? And it gives it a little bit more of a voice. Then I used the SSL channel strip for filters and distortion. I like the sound of the SSL when it goes into red. And then you can see I use the compressor, but I use the compressor in sidechain, meaning when the kick hits, the sound gets compressed just for the duration of the transient of the kick. Okay, just a little bit. Let me exaggerate it for you. Okay. So the two sounds for the moment in which the kick hits don't clash against each other because they have pretty much the same range. And in this way, the sub bass is more like the tail of the kick drum instead of being a sound completely separated from it. Okay? Let's lower it down. And then I used another saturator, which is the SDRR by Klangelm. And this is spectacular. It's one of the best saturator plugin that I know. It's amazing. It has so many settings, so many different algorithms, and it's absolutely stunning. Here's the different without. Listen how it makes this bass sound more vocal, more open up on top. More aggressive, okay? This is really the key to make this kind of sub-bass sound be heard in smaller speakers, is saturation and higher harmonics. And then since that I didn't like the decay, I gated it. Without. So, pretty simple gate. Next one is the main theme sound, which I made with Expand. I tried to make it as close as possible to the original. Processing wise, it only has a high pass filter and a little boost at 8K. But again, this is not a mix, and a little bit of reverb. Let's hear it without. Just to make it sit better and give it its own space. And the preset for this one is gonna be in the info box down below again. And I used 3 sounds, as you can see. The first one is this. A vibraphone. Another vibraphone. An octave lower. And then this mono sign. And together they sound like this. Again, not exactly the same, but ballpark. And I wasn't really interested in, making it exactly the same. So then we have this other sound here that goes, of course, along with this. And I used Expand again. I use only one sound that is called Bent Marimba. And I will link the preset down below. And this one just has a little bit of EQ, low shelf, and a little boost at around 5K. Played in 2 different octaves. The difference that you hear is just the octaves, as you can see here from the MIDI. Together they sound like this. And then lastly, I have this bell here, which I actually had as my own sample, so I just used that one. Just a bell sample you can find pretty much everywhere. Low cut filter and a little boost top end. And then I used Transient Designer for this, because I wanted to reduce the sustain of it. Without. Pretty simple. The 3 sound like this together. and the whole thing together sounds like this. Okay, so this is not really to copy sounds from other production and artists. It's more like a good workout if you want to get into sound designing and how to choose the right samples, how to commit to a sound and print it and work with it and make it work for you. And also to show you that you can do a lot with stock plugins and you don't need to spend 3 days choosing what is gonna be the best 808 emulation. Just pick one and go with it. Make it work for you, okay? Bend the sound to your need. And this is sound design, this is mixing, okay? So, like I said, it's just a good workout, just good practice. So, I hope the video was informative. I hope it was useful. All the sounds that I used, I made presets and I will link them down below in the info box. If you liked the video, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.